Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. I wanted to make a video because I've been working a lot on my assignments and studying for my 3 tests next week, or yeah, next week. And two are labeled an exam. One is technically labeled a quiz, but there's more questions. It's my drug um, test. And for this week, it's combining a group of drugs that we learned the previous weeks into this test. So, um, I haven't, well, I have been studying, but I'll be able to study more today because I was mainly putting stuff on Quizlet. Um, I do that for the final exams. So, end of the term final exams. So I combine all the previous questions that we've had, and then I put it into the um, put it into Quizlet, and I could do some of the games that they have. I mainly use one game, but I think it's nice because it mixes up the terms and in the um sorry it mixes the definitions, and it does it in like small groupings, and you get timed on it, but you're only timed against yourself. So it's nice that you get to like see if you could get a couple seconds less than what you got before. So you do it like more and more times, and because they're in small groupings, it doesn't feel like um there's so much at once as it implies. So I was trying to do my last 2 coursework assignments for this week, and I just kept falling asleep, and I kept falling asleep yesterday. I had a weird sleep schedule yesterday because I slept around 5 and I woke up around midnight. And then I was up, I didn't go back to bed, and well, until maybe around 10 p.m. And I woke back up because I wanted to make a video, but I was trying to finish homework. I did get a nail clipper for one of the bags, and I included um right now I have like 2 of the K94s, and they're my favorite face masks. I don't really like wearing face masks in general, but if I had to wear one, it's my go-to one because they're super comfortable and breathable. Um, so I'm also trying to be mindful about the things that I send in the package, because I could fill it up with random things, but I'm also thinking that because it's getting shipped, maybe try to get things that, of course, they could get a nail clipper, but I feel like it'd be nice for kind of the care or kind pouch to have some of the basics. And I'm gonna get a toothbrush. I'm gonna see the razors. I might get a pack of razors. Um, I'll see, because of course you want the expensive one, but I want multiple bags to have them, so I think I might just get the pack. So I have been working on sewing. I cut out the fabric for my bandana and then I set aside the other fabric for the tote bag that I'm sending to my student. And I'm really excited because I loved the color. I tried it and I think it just is such a fun, happy color. So I'm hoping to get that done to, I don't know if today, but I was also hoping to get one of the exams done because I can do one of the exams. I don't know if I could do it this week or if I have to start off in the beginning or it opens or unlocks in the beginning of next week. But I I would like to finish it before doing the other ones because they're all going to be due on the same day. So I really don't want to have three of them, three tests in one day, but I'll see what happens. So this is one of the bags. Well, this is the bag that I finished. And I don't know about the timing because there was an announcement that South Park was like saying that they are timing, they didn't time it correctly. And then people were like, it seems they don't feel like that's what happened. Um, I think I haven't gotten too into it, and I don't know if people are watching uh, the con like the rest of the series. Um, but there are people that react to the new episodes that come out, and I think because of what the um, episode was about, maybe they had to like rethink it with everything that was going on with another talk show host being um, taken off air, and then the other part of it is the assassination. So um, they might be redoing it, but I'm not. Of course, I'm not. Oh wait, I'm not sure about what's going on with that. Um, I did complete this bag, so I'm putting the yellow, like kind of a neon yellow zipper. There was like a golden yellow zipper, and I put yellow on the inside of this one. So this will be one of the two South Park ones, and I figured that it could be nice to have this one because they're familiar with it. Um, and then there's the blue at the bottom. I feel like I have to use the quilting needle for this one, for this fabric specifically, because I don't know what you call it, but I had my other needle that's makes it easier to get through certain areas, and it was like kind of sewing it, and then it dragged, like you could see, well, at least I could see the line, and it was um doing it a little bit, so I switched it, and then I put it right side out. Then the next one is this one. So I didn't finish it yet, but I added the zipper. It's also neon yellow, and it made me think about a neon yellow pouch for myself at some point, but I am going to make myself a couple different things. So I put blue, like the blue that was here, and these were the ones that I got on sale. And um, so I switched out the needle to like do the top stitching and do the zipper, because and combining certain areas, because um the other needle wasn't um having consistent stitches when I was using it. So I accidentally measured the interfacing before um combining these together. So if you can see it, like here, it's not as long, but I think it should be fine. Well, the other one's like that too, so I think it's fine. Then that's the inside. And I was looking at the first aid kits in Target, and I saw that it was a white cross with a red background. And I was like, maybe I was like getting it mixed up or something. But I don't have a lot of red to do that. So I might make the polka dot one with the um, black floral, and I think that'll be more of like the less neutral ones. I tried to keep them neutral for the most part, and I think that should be okay. Um, so I'll see what it is. And I was thinking about including the gloves in there, because I knit gloves a, a while ago, a long, not a, like a long, long time ago, but when I was in my apartment, and I feel like well, I was using different yarn, and this yarn was the more, I think I would say, loosely spun. It's not as strong as the other yarns, which I feel like it has its place because there is like yarn that has the like yarns that have those that characteristic, and but I don't feel like you would use it for something more fitted. And the gloves seem, well, they fit the way that I want it to fit. I made two of them, and they're like as I said, they're not loose or anything on my hands. So I'll see if it, maybe I'm not sure who would be able to wear it because it's like you could get it on, but I don't feel like you would be like carrying heavy groceries with the gloves. I feel like it's kind of one of those things where it's not like you're popping a seam, but you could not unravel, but like kind of rip a little bit like with the yarn. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna put it like specifically in a bag or if I'm just gonna maybe like put it in there for a small size. Like, because if they fit, I would kind of go a size down for this hand size because it gives you a little more wiggle room to like not have that happen. So I don't know if they would want to gift it to maybe their partner, or I don't know, maybe even a child. But um, I think I'm still gonna include the large hat that I made. That's the fan. And maybe trying to get like club things together for the medical healthcare science club. And I feel like it's one of those things where I don't know, because I don't really talk to people much, that it's like when I talk, I feel like I don't know if I just bring up topics that people are like, "Whoa, Adrian," and I'm thinking I want the conversation to be exciting. That's just my personality. But I guess like it could be against the grain or something. And because I put out a lot of potential topics, and I wasn't saying like these are the end all be all for for topics, not potential, but um I did mention it being potential. And I've been using my planner, and honestly, I've been happy with this planner, but I was sad about my other planner because I've used it for this whole course and I haven't really used a planner in a long time, like since I was in, I don't even know, high school. I know like in grade school we were given planners from the school to write stuff. I remember in high school we were given laptop covers, we were given laptops, um, those things. So uh, I don't remember, but I feel like this is nice. And um, at first I was like, I hope I can fill a good amount of these pages out because I don't really have too much going on right now. And I'm like, I do have stuff going on that I could actually write down, and it'll be a combination of um, the daily things and the club things. So I did write down the last remaining weeks of the main course that I taken, and you can see that it's a lot less work than the last couple of terms. The September month, I already put the student meetings, so I can't show that, but I did put like my the few bills that I have on here, and I did add the study group because there's a study group for the Ukrainian language, and um, I did write down when I would be able to do that. It kind of felt like a little, I don't know if you would say like nostalgic, but um, because it was familiar energy, because the person that's coordinating it, she's well, I don't necessarily know if she's from Pennsylvania. Oh my God, Adrian. But uh, she's from, well, I don't know where she's from exactly, but I know where she is, and some of her family um is near where I am. So I definitely felt like that was nice. Even though sometimes I do get that I feel like maybe it's my personality that I either connect with somebody or I don't. So there's also that. And then when I was also on the East Coast, I um especially like in my hometown area where I spent my younger years, I didn't really have too many friends, and of course I don't think you need a lot of friends, but um in the family I felt like it was more like black sheep energy, and this is not me feeling like, oh my God, this is my life. But well, it is technically what it was, but and then kind of the emo personality, or like my other friends were kind of not oddballs, but at the same time, it's like we all got along, even though most of us didn't really have the same hobbies at all. Like all, pretty much a lot of most of the people in the group, they were all doing different things that they were super into, or they kind of specialized at this point. So those differences kind of brought us together. And then when I was in grade school and in high school, I went to private school, like Catholic private school, and I didn't have a problem with bullying that much. I feel like at least to the extent that I could have been. So I felt fine. I don't, maybe I don't think I'm desensitized to it, but I feel like in those environments, that ones that I was, the areas or schools that I went to, they, if they saw like discrepancy or something that wasn't supposed to happen, they immediately shut it down. Like it was like But at the same time in high school, I felt like um, it was more free range. I don't mean to sound it like chickens, but because I went to public school for 1 month and there were so many rules. But then when I went to private school, private high school, they were more like there's less rules there in a way, but at the same time, like if you do certain things, they'll discipline you. So take what you will with that. It it's like specific things, but I was also like not in um a happy mood when I was in high school, mainly because of the home environment. But I did hang out with the main people that I hung out with were the ones that I mentioned, and then I also sat with like um different groups of people because I didn't really care. So I don't know if like if I was happier at that time, maybe I would have been more keen on having those types of friendships with different people too. But I mean, I'm okay because it's not like it deeply affected me in that way. And that was my spiel. And that's why I feel like I could say I'm gonna make a shorter video and then I keep talking. Like I'm literally showing like what 3 things in this video. Then I'm gonna try to start my homework, the remaining stuff because I wanna focus on studying and possibly taking one of the exams, the only exam that I can take early. Well, I could technically take the final exam early, but I've been enjoying taking it like after class because um not like in not like on campus, but when I get back, so I just review everything and then take the exam. So this is another section, and I have been using it. And I didn't write as much in my schedule, but sometimes, I could write stuff. So I have the 2 assignments here, and I did do the discussion board that I have to do for like 3 weeks of the month, and then the last week where the finals are, I don't have them. Um, I also went to Target. I didn't write that down though. And I did write like in a in um this section yesterday, and I added other times because I understand that a lot of people wouldn't have to have the 24-hour chart timetable chart. um or do I just say timetable and not chart? But the this time for it says the daily diary and notes for this area, and um I wrote down the potential topics for the medical healthcare science club, but mm, that might be them. I don't know if like that become um yeah, that was them. One of them, I'll just call her B because that's how that like sometimes we go by. Well, not I go by. She goes by, and she actually runs the lunchtime chat. That's at 2 a.m. for me. I don't know if you heard the beep because that's what the beep was. Um, which is kind of surprising because I don't know if I usually have that. And uh, it's been nice talking to her on there because I do enjoy the lunchtime chat because I think it's more like it's not as structured and um, I think that's important for me too because I know that this is structured in a way that it's like a specific area, but or specific areas, but I do like the idea of conversations being able to touch those conversations, and I don't think we're trying to be so like like hurting people or like with controversial topics or topics that may be taboo, but um I think it's like those things happen in life because I think like one of the things that I brought up was I already said it was a controversial topic like microdosing mushrooms or was it I'm always like triple checking on my spelling for this when I write about it. Um, psilocybin. So I know and I added that controversial topics, cannabis, microdose, psilocybin, or street drugs, depending on the country. So depending on where you're at, it could be maybe a legal drug, maybe like in the process of becoming legal in some areas, um, or completely not okay. So, for the most part, and even the person that started this organization, she commented and she contributed to it, to the conversation, because I was just like blasting the chat with like random ideas. Um, but I just got like something from B saying that I have so many topics that I could, what is it? She's like, um, so many good ideas here to have sessions for a couple years to last. And I think that was nice because there was somebody, well, not everyone approved of that, being like, well, you can't say this because it's illegal there. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. My response was that it was on the list of potential topics, and we haven't even started the club to see the direction it goes in. I'm not saying I'm taking it on a path of talking about potentially inappropriate topics. I was thinking about things to talk about that could give the conversation substance. In pharmacy, you learn about drugs you're not prescribing or things you're not supposed to do, so people are aware. I'm sure this goes for other establishments too. So I tried to keep it civil, but I was also just like, I did write that in there that this was a controversial topic, and it's not it. And I did say depending on the country. So I think I might quickly like say what I have right now because I was excited because like for a lot different areas of like conversation, I might not have a lot to contribute. Um, and that could also be a reason why I don't talk as much for some things. But if I do know uh, things about the topic, I could, or if I'm really into the topic, I could talk about it. So, um, there's plants that are native to Ukraine and their therapeutic uses. Health, okay, I said if this is okay and if it's not a sensitive topic. Health during the war and ideas on how to alleviate some mental, emotional, and physical stress. Drugs, classifications, their indications, developments in medicine, mechanisms in action, and compounding medications. Antibiotics in a war zone, medical terminology. The acronym AIDIT, and that stands for Acknowledge, Introduce, Duration, Explanation, and Thank you. I was thinking about having a different segment, and because I thought it would be fun, because I was like, I'm a person that doesn't sit still well in class, and that's like another reason why I was coming up with all these topics because I need like engagement, or I'm just gonna be like fucking around, like just knitting or, and I'm not saying just because I knit doesn't mean I'm like not interested in like the maybe I should use a different example, but when I'm in a meeting and I knit, it doesn't mean that I'm not interested in the meeting, but I'm doing that and I'm listening to just get everything going. Um, so I was thinking a segment, and I didn't know if it was like going too far because I was just thinking outside the box of like what I think would be fun. A casual topic, TV shows, because someone was like, think about like what the students would want. I'm just like I'm thinking about everything of what they could potentially want. We haven't had the we haven't started yet, so it's like we're just putting everything out there to see like I'm not saying like throwing pasta to the wall and seeing what sticks in that way, but there's different things that could cater to different personalities. And that's what I was talking about with the TV shows. There's the show Monsters Inside Me, real life stories of patients who contracted parasitic, bacterial, fungal, or viral diseases, untold stories of the ER, I didn't know I was pregnant, and the show House showcases rare diseases. And I felt like it could be for people that are interested in general health or these things, um, people that still want to work away from work, and people that don't want to think about work when they get home, but it's casual enough because it's a TV show and they can still talk about it. And that's why I was kind of like particular about like maybe having it on a specific day where it's not like they're like, oh man, I have this day off and I'm talking more about health. That's why I wanted it to be like more exciting because I know sometimes I'm just like when you just want to shut it off. So the other things, healthcare organizations, and I was thinking about healthcare organizations because I was reading an older article for this state that I'm in, because it has like the laws and regulations for the state. That's where the jurisdiction is, and but when I said that, it's kind of a nationwide program though, but this specific article was specifically from the state. So it's some of it's like specifically again again for the state. Uh, but there was like an organization that helps that tested and screened for diabetes, and if you're pre-diabetic, it help you participate in evidence-based exercises that help um, with diabetes. So that's where that idea was coming from. And then the benefit of weeds like dandelions because weeds are like my favorite plants. I do love other plants. I mainly favor yellow plants, like yellow flowers. My childhood home had daffodils, and then I love dandelions and sunflowers. Dandelions are my favorite weed, and I love sunflowers. What are mushrooms? I don't know how controversial that one's going to be. Infusions and decoctions using different parts of the plant, keelic products, and garlic. That's what it is. That's like the active. It Garlic is active in keelic products. Nervine plants, and I was that's like a basis, and then I would go into other categories. Drugs developed and used during wars, and I thought that was cool to talk about. Might be controversial. I don't know. But I figured that I would write it because I'm just like, I know we're not really supposed to talk about the war, and for the most part, the war doesn't get brought up. But if they're okay with talking about it, sometimes it gets talked about. So again, I'll see. And then one of like the coordinator, she sent me a private message talking about um, like she gave me articles about like Ukrainian sources for Ukrainian talking about Ukrainian plants, and I thought that was like so fun. So I really wanted to get something going with that, and I do want to write a couple of things. I'm report driven, so I feel like I'm gonna have writing to um, go with this. Okay. And I will add more to this. These are just literally things that I thought of. Um, I would say going from the casual topic with TV shows down, those are all from yesterday. So, um, there is a lot of groundwork, but I'm hoping that it could aid with the direction that it goes in. Because, especially with like the first meeting, it gives off like, and there's people that want to see like what the club's about, and then not everyone like is a new person when the club starts, so they might want to see what the club is. So that is something, and I hope that like, well, I'm gonna do it. I feel that it feels right to me, and I feel like I have a good understanding of of this area. So I think I have that going on. I have this as a bookmark because there's technically a ruler in the beginning, but I don't want to continuously like move it, so I'm not gonna do that. And I didn't get to see my student last meeting because of the alarms. Um, so she's been teaching me a lot, and this is like her writing of like assignment for me to like go through with the words, and we're going to talk about them in the next meeting. And I just haven't gotten to it, But I am happy that I was able to do the 3 weeks of the Quizlet stuff of like the questions or the terms and definitions because I have one more to go for the fourth week. I didn't do that yet, but at least it's like now ready to use. Because for the past couple of terms, maybe like the last two, I've been kind of like, oh, I don't feel like doing this, putting the Quizlet together, and I ended up finishing it later than what I would wanted to, and that's like cutting into studying. But of course, I could study them before I finish it, but I really wanted to focus on finishing it. So that was the video. I didn't finish my hat, but I might. Uh, I don't really talk right now in the politics club. I kind of just listen, which has been fine. But I do love this hat. I'm thinking I could do one more hat. I feel kind of bad because the large hat is like really large, so um, hopefully it fits somebody. So I'll see you. Bye.